Hi there, scrappers. I am here tonight to answer a couple of questions about people wanting to make offset titles or shadow titles in Cricut Design Space. So I thought I would just do a real quick demonstration on how I do it. I did find it somewhere on YouTube, and I am really sorry I can't remember where I found it, but I'll include it in my links when I figure out where I saw the demonstration of originally on YouTube. There is a program out there called Inkscape that you can use to create your white background shadow borders for your images. But what I'm going to do is show you how to do it without having to worry about another program to learn and maneuver and figure out. But what I'm basically talking about here, this is an image I bought from Miss Kate's Cuttables. I'll include her link. She actually has free SVG files every day right now. And then she has very reasonably priced SVG files too. I think they range from like 99 cents to, $1.99 depending on the group that you're going to get. But what I'm really talking about, what we're going to try to do tonight is like this white border behind the title Happy Birthday here. So, all right, let's get started. I'm going to clear my screen off. All right. So the first thing I thought I would do is use a title that's already created in Cricut Access. So first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and grab the image. I'm going to do graduation title. So I'm just simply typing in graduation. And then there's the title I want right there. And then I'm going to insert. All right. So it's pretty nice and big. Over here in the layers menu, you'll see that you have a layer to it, which that is the most important part. Is you have to have a shadow and a top layer in order for this to work. If you don't, then you've got to create one. And I know I have a YouTube video on my channel that shows you how to create a shadow for titles that or letters or text that doesn't have the multi-layer aspect to it. But I decided to go the easy route. So we're going to use this ready-made title already done for us with its already done shadow behind it. So first thing I'm going to do is go up to my layers panel and I'm going to ungroup. And then I'm going to pull my top layer down and any other layer that's there with it. Okay, so I have this shadow graduation, and so I'm going to click it, and I'm going to try to have the contour button fill in any letters or any spaces that it can. So the way I do that is select the item that you want to contour. It has to be a single layer item also in order to use your contour button. If I had graduation on top of it, it wouldn't work if it was all grouped together. It'd have to be ungrouped, and then it's a single layer at a time. So down here in the layers menu, in the bottom right-hand corner is the contour button. I'm simply going to click that, and then you'll see the word graduation kind of shadowed here for you. And then there are some spaces in the word graduation that are like a little darker color. And if you click on those, after you're done clicking what you want to kind of hide, you will see that it filled in all those spaces. See how it filled in all the spaces that it was going to allow you to do. I wanted to hit the contour button and show you one thing real quick again. Since I know I'm going to hide all of the contour that I possibly can, I can also just hit this hide all contours button and it will hide them instead of me clicking on one. If I don't want to go back to the original image, I can go over here to the menu and go up and down with it and click the ones I want to hide also. I use hide all contour quite a bit though. All right, so while the contour button did hide some of the white space for me, I still have some open space here. And because these are open images, I have to close them in order to create my white background or my whatever background shadow offset I want to use. So the easiest way that I've found that you can do this is go over to the left-hand side on your editing menu and click shapes and then click a square. You're going to unlock the proportion and then go ahead and make a line. It really doesn't matter how thick or how thin you make it. Just make sure it's thin enough so it doesn't take up a lot of space and you end up going over your title in places that you really didn't want to. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to make this a little bigger so you can see it all. So here is, here is the square that I made into kind of a thin line. And I'm going to make it a little shorter. Okay, I'm going to simply just connect the open spaces. So right here, I want to get rid of this A space, you know, the dead space there in the A. And so I put my little square over that, or my rectangle. Over here, the space in the graduation or the G, I need that to go too. And for some reason, it didn't contour it out. So I'm just simply going to put a line there too, just kind of lining it up. I'm just hitting the duplicate button and that helps me just not have to go back and grab the shape each time and then size it to what I need and then place it where I want. I can just hit the duplicate and it'll take care of it for me. Okay, so I'm just right now placing all of my little lines in the areas that I want to close up. I'm paying attention to not putting the closing figure at the bottom of my letter that I want to show or close. If you do, it becomes a rectangle. And you know, if you just want to place your title on a rectangle, then do it that way. But we still want the letters to have some shape to them. So that's why I tend, and you can see it right here, that's why I tend to let some of the shape of the letter show still. So let me finish this off. Another thing I found out is when I first started trying this, and it is a lot of playing and trial and error, I would place my item, I would weld it, and then I'd go to the next thing that I'd want to place, and then I'd weld it. And then I'd go to the next thing I want to place and weld it. And so I had like 30 or 40 welds sometimes. And what I was finding is that Cricut Design Space didn't like me doing that, and it would freeze on me. And so I'm like, okay, we won't do that. So now what I try to do is I try to make one big massive weld, because that's what we're going to do here in a second, is weld everything. And I just try to make one weld, one click. Oh, I have to go back and undo that. One weld at a time, one big weld instead of a whole bunch of little welds, so that I don't lose the image that I want to create. Okay, I have one thing left over here, and then I think we're done. Okay. All right. So I'm going to make this just a bit smaller so you can see the whole screen. So right now you can see all the little lines in between everything. I left this space open in between the D and the U. We'll see how that looks after I weld the other stuff and see if I actually need to close that up or not. Okay, so my little lines are on top of my shadow that I'm going to try to close. So I'm simply just going to select the whole item, and then I'm going down into the layers menu and I'm going to hit weld. All right, this is where I love my contour button, and I went over a little bit there. I'm gonna back out of that and make my little line or connector bar a little shorter here. It went over the end just a little. Okay. All right, sorry about that. I think that's my little perfection problem. Okay, so highlight the whole thing, and then I'm gonna come to the layers menu and I'm gonna hit weld. And so now it's one entire piece. And so I'm gonna click on it one more time, go down to the contour, and now I have all these spaces saying, hey, you can close these up. So I'm gonna just simply hit hide all contour, and then I'm gonna X out of it. And so it really closed it up pretty well. Let me show you what it looks like here. I'm going to change graduation to white just so you see more of a contrast. How about if we change graduation to black and the background to white? And then I'll change my canvas to black. Okay, so that way you can see it just a little bit better. All right, so it doesn't look too bad, but right here, there's a little bit of an open space, and then yes, I need to close this piece off. So and you know what? I don't like how this goes up a little too high. So I'm gonna go ahead and place, I'm gonna turn this back to white. I'm gonna go ahead and place a couple of more closer bars on this title just to kind of get it to where I want it to be. So I picked out a shape on the left-hand side there of a square. I hit the proportion button, I unlocked it. I made the square into a little skinny rectangle. And I I guess we could call it a closer bar. And then I did it again to kind of close up this G and the R. I'm gonna make it a little smaller. Wants to highlight the whole thing on me. All right, and then one more time over here between the D and the U. I want to close some of that space up. Now notice I didn't try to close the entire space up by bringing the line all the way down to the bottom here, because it'll give it more of a boxy square look, and that's not what I want. I still want some of the shadow to have some definition to some of the letters so that you can tell that they're letters still. So I want to leave it open just a little bit. So I'm going to select the whole title again, going down into my layers menu. I'm going to select weld. And then once I've done that, I'm going to highlight it or select it again, go down into my layers menu, hit contour, and hide all contour. And that should pretty much, yeah, that looks great. That should really make a difference now. Okay, so I'm going to put my title back up. Look at that. Doesn't that look pretty good? Now, I'm going to tell you a little secret. It takes a lot of practice. You're going to have to play a whole bunch in order for it to work for you. You will have titles on there that will not look so good, that you like over closed things. You will have titles that just will not work. My best advice to you is just play and just try it out. When you have some free time, you know, just go in and see if you can create a title like this using already pre-made titles in Access first, and then you could probably go on and move to text and type in your own titles and create this offset yourself. But I'm going to tell you right now, you got to practice a little bit. I am still not great at it. I am still practicing, but this title looks pretty darn good. It looks like it was one of those SVG cuts that I bought from, you know, Miss Kate's or some other place that has SVG cuts for you. All right. I hope this video helped you, and gave you some useful information that you can use. I am going to include in my comments a link to my graduation page, and I'm sorry for the scrolling here. Hopefully it doesn't make you dizzy. I'm going to show you what the link looks like. It is a graduation day link. I did not create the offset like I did in the title, but it's a pretty nice page. You can go ahead and create the offset if you want in this layout, and I think it would be just fine. But I'm including the link for this graduation day layout for you to click on. And by clicking on the link, this will open up for you in your design space, and then you can save it or go ahead and just hit make it, and it will cut out for you all ready to go. If you don't know how to do that, just I have some videos on my channel that you can look at to learn more about how to cut out a 12 by 12 scrapbook layout that you designed in Design Space. And it'll show you some tips and some steps on how to get that done. All right. Well, I hope this was helpful. Please like and subscribe if this video helped you at all. And you're welcome to join my Facebook page. It's called Cricut Design Space Scrapbooking Layouts. I have a link in the comments for that too. And just remember to answer the 3 questions so we know you're not a robot. And you'll find probably about 100 different links to various scrapbook layouts on that page. So, all right. Well, I hope everybody has a great night and happy scrapping. Bye-bye.